Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Neil Abercrombie.
Thank you very much, Colonel. Aloha, everyone. And aloha in particular to these cadets, to U-19. I regret to say that I had hoped to be able to give my aloha to and my greetings to at least one more. I think that most of you may know that Sione Lafa'o, just 22 years, was taken from us recently in an accident, in a kayaking accident. We miss him. I want him and I want his family to know that we have him in our thoughts, that this is the kind of thing that we have to come to grips with in life, and most particularly this evening, as this pinning ceremony is about to take place. The young men and women before you here this evening, before their friends, before their family, are about to embark upon a journey in which they willingly submit themselves to the idea that they will represent perhaps even to the ultimate sacrifice in terms of defending the strategic interests of this nation. I speak to you tonight as a former member of the Armed Services Committee, as was indicated. In the course of the 20 years that I served in the United States Congress on the Armed Services Committee, and in the course of events having the responsibility and obligation to act as chair of the Army and Air Committee, I can tell you that I bring with me then the greetings of Chairman McKean and the Armed Services Committee this evening. Those of us who have had the opportunity, the honor, and the privilege to serve on the Armed Services Committee recognize and understand that while every committee is important, the Financial Committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Budget Committee, the Judiciary, one and all, Education, Labor, all important. The Armed Services Committee makes life and death decisions every single day of its existence. We understand profoundly, seriously, deeply, that the decisions that are made in the Congress by the committee affects the lives and fortunes of all those who serve. And because we recognize that there are life and death decisions, yes, in the Congress of the United States, think then how important it is to have trained professionals, critically thinking individuals, those capable of making command decisions, because as these cadets are pinned this evening and assume their duties, their professional duties and commitment, focus and dedication, they will be making decisions, not just about themselves, but about others, yes, even unto life and death decisions. That is why the training that they have received, which culminates this evening, is something that is taken with seriousness, direction, and focus of purpose. That's why you being here tonight is so important. Yes, there will be a ceremony this evening. It may be the first time that you have attended such a ceremony. But we all recognize, do we not, that these ceremonies have been held before and they'll be held again. If that's the case, why do we come? Why do we do this? Why do we formally recognize what these young people have accomplished this evening? Isn't it possible just to give them a certificate? Isn't it possible just to recognize them at the end of their successful completion of their classes? Why do we do this? Why do we go through what amounts to a ritual? We do it because a ritual for us as human beings is a conserver of values. It is a recognition of the values that have been inculcated from the education that has been provided to them. Yes, from the indoctrination to which they have been subjected. Not because they think of it mindlessly, but because they think of it at all. That is the hallmark of freedom. No one is impressed into uniform here. Everyone is a volunteer. Everyone has indicated their commitment after thoughtful consideration as to what the implications might be for them, their families, and their community. That is why we recognize them tonight. That is why I extend my gratitude to you on their behalf, that you are here this evening in recognition in turn of not only of what they have accomplished, but what they intend to do, what their purpose is. It is the hallmark of a free people. The soldiers that were referred to in the person of General George Washington by the remarks made prior to my introduction ring as true today as they did then. We are a free people because we freely gather ourselves together for purposes of defense of this nation and its values. We are not here under a gun. We are not forced into service in this nation. We are here to perhaps take up arms when necessary on the basis of a free people making a decision on its behalf with regard to what its interests are and in the defense of justice and freedom and opportunity and prosperity and peace for everyone. So I salute you tonight. I say to you on behalf of a grateful nation that we honor you. We look forward to your service in this nation. We look forward, one and all here, as an Ohana and a community in support of you. Some will receive a special awards this evening. A Warrior Award presented by my good friend, Mr. Ho, the Manoa Warrior. This is a recognition of the singular presentation that will be made this evening and perhaps on occasions to come in the future of what constitutes our particular support for someone from Hawaii. Whether one is recognized individually or not is not the principal focus of the evening. Yes, individuals are recognized. People like Senator Inouye, who has been recognized with the highest award that this nation can give, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And yet he sees himself, and you could see and hear from the tone of his remarks this evening, delivered in his letter, that he was one of a company of fellow soldiers. An individual, yes, but an individual among a group of people who are defending the interests of this nation. That's what these young people are about to enter upon tonight. Yes, each of them will be pinned individually, but together they represent for us, for the entire nation, the best of those who are prepared to serve on our behalf. It is an honor for us to be here with you this evening. It is a privilege for me to be able to speak to you. Imua Hawaii, Imua the ROTC program at the University of Hawaii, Manoa. Mahalo nui.